Welcome to the bold analysis. I'm shooting this video at some different scene. And ladies and gentlemen, I was heading somewhere. I was actually heading to Muranga. So just some few minutes, I've just decided to park besides the road to look at this information that has just arrived now. And this is a matter I had been following for some time. Nominated Senator Gloria Oduor has been suspended from the Senate until February. That is a report that has come from Powers and Privilege Committee in the Senate. Now, I've just received that information. It has just been shared some few minutes ago. And of course, there was a conversation in terms of what is being expected or what exactly was happening. So I want us to go through this story one by one, because of course I'm by the road. So I just want you to understand, because of the bold, we always, here is where you know what has happened. So if it's not in the bold, then it means that is something that is still not confirmed. She's been suffering. Of course, she has been raising alarm about some making a sensational claim. She made a sensational claim that a powerful man from Parliament hid her passport, blocking her from traveling to Geneva, Switzerland for a conference. So what has been happening is that she has not raised, she did not reveal the name of the powerful politician, but what happened is well documented here. The senator claimed that she missed traveling after her passport was not submitted to the embassy as required. As per protocol, she submitted her passport and asked for facilitation after she was invited in that Geneva conference. Now, on the eve of the travel, she learned that the embassy was yet to process her visa. As such, she missed an opportunity to represent her legislative work and advocacy for women empowerment. She came to find out later that her passport had been hidden and had not been presented to the embassy to process travel documents. So, you know, I think people need to understand what exactly happened here is, before an MP, the employer of MPs, in terms of the person in charge of travels and the welfare of the MPs, both in the Senate and the National Assembly, is Parliamentary Service Commission. So both the leadership of the Senate and that of the National Assembly sits in Parliamentary Service Commission. So she was supposed to move. She was supposed to be in Geneva for that conference, but her passport was not taken. She planned to present a personal statement on the matter. She alleged that the powerful office engineered a retaliation attack by having the Powers and Privilege Committee summon her for some trumped-up charges. Now, the Senate was meeting today to discuss the motion by the committee into conduct of the senator and establish if the conduct constituted a breach of the parliamentary privilege. The senator revealed that she has decided to make public the matter and end the retaliation towards victims to silence her. Oduor has been in the limelight for quite some time. And according to the report, actually the United Nations had already processed her travel, already were willing to cover her travel to the Geneva conference, but her passport was confiscated. Now, what has culminated into Oduor being ejected out of the Senate looks like a long-standing fight between the Senate and the powers to be, between the senator and the powers to be in the corridors of the Senate. Of course, they are yet to find out, they are yet to explain the real details behind her removal, or rather her ejection from the Senate until February. But there is one point you need to appreciate here, and that is what I wanted to bring up. For such a high caliber decision to be arrived of ejecting a senator from the House, it has to get the blessings of the ranks and file of the UDA party, because the senator is a UDA nominated senator. So I don't, as much as I realize she has mentioned about brushing shoulders with the powers within the Senate, but that cannot be effected without the blessings of the party leadership. So it looks like something that the culmination of her ejection is just a culmination of a long-standing, a long-time standoff between the senator and the powers to be. Now, it has not yet been discussed what exactly is at the point of focus, but the last time she was in the limelight was when she appeared in the Senate House with some red-tainted trouser, allegedly saying that she was in her menses. I think I've used the right word. She was in her menses, and she actually used the skit to lobby for the rights of the girl child. Of course, as a woman senator, one of the things that the area that women senators normally try to cut a niche is supporting the girl child. So the reason why Senator Oduor appeared in the Senate with a red-tainted trouser, allegedly saying that she was in her menses, but of course that was just an imagery to show the shame of people, or how the girls in adolescent age, the challenges they pass through when the mentions come when they're in public. Now, to be honest, that cannot form the ground of ejecting the senator, because if that was to form a ground of ejecting the senator, then it was supposed to have been effected immediately. It was supposed to have been infected immediately. It cannot take 4 or 3 months later for the Powers and Privilege Committee to sit and then level some charges against her. In her own submission, the senator is saying that there are powerful powers to be within the Senate, I think, the leadership, that had been soliciting for, or rather had been making some sexual advances to her. That is what is at the center of this. But then, if it can be leaked out, that it can be leaked out clearly that the reason why the senator is being ejected are charges related to issues on sexual harassment and now fighting back around it, then it is about time, or rather it opens up a conversation in this country about the issues of gender equality and the gender justice. You know, the gender justice has been here for some time, and it opens up a discussion on this. I will really pay more attention to the membership of the Powers and the Privilege Committee, because I honestly do believe that sometimes you can, your tormentors or people against you can always get away with such heinous, such decisions. But when the membership of the House comprises both the Azimio and the Kenya Kwanza, or perhaps it's in the majority, then it is something deeper than what is being reported. We need to agree that the matter needs to be addressed keenly and with a lot of sobriety, and of course it has to be given a very holistic approach, because if it can be proved beyond any reasonable doubt that the senator can be ejected out of the House simply because she's not in good terms with powers to be, then that is a very bad point to be as a country. Because one of the things we must really appreciate is defending rights of all. Whether you agree with me or not, but you have to defend my right. But then, I want to look at it differently. It opens up a very wrong discussion, or not a wrong discussion, but it also opens up another discussion into what is taken or what is in consideration for someone to lobby for a position. I do remember, and I honestly agree, that for you to be nominated in the House like in the Senate, it's not just about being qualified or proximity to the powers to be. And it has to be relooked keenly, because many people lobby. If the discussion about the sexual advances is coming in the light of her ejection, as the way she's saying, and remember, probably she has made this public. This is something that happened in May 15th, ndio hakuweza kutravel, and then we are in July. We are in August. We are almost getting to the 10th. We are on 10th August. So this tells you that this is a matter that requires bit of the deeper aspects. Lastly, where is William Ruto's stake in this? Because I do believe that William Ruto is a man who is hands-on, and be it in executive, the legislature or the judiciary, is a bit hands-on. Why would they allow such a very sensitive and embarrassing story to come out of the public? Don't you think? Because I do honestly believe the senator that has been ejected can get access to President Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. She can get access to the powers of the President of the Republic of Kenya. And this matter could squarely be addressed in the boardroom without it coming to the public, because it exposes the infighting. Is it starting with Gloria and ending with Gloria? So I do wish that, as one thing I always said, is that judiciary have to save this country. The moment we will entertain such shenanigans, I will be so glad if the senator will rush to court and get some injunction against this, because it cannot be that people have to work within the right emotions, and if you lose the emotional connection with powers to be, then you have to suffer. But again, there is more than what catches the eye. Let's look at how the story will develop, and we'll give you more updates about it. Thank you.